3, 2, 1. Hello, folks, and welcome to episode 277 of Ruse Radio. We are back at it again with a very special guest. Please introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Connor Musarra. I'm a musician, artist, producer, crazy person on the internet, hailing from Los Angeles, California, and born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio?
Yeah.
When did you move to California?
10 years ago.
And what made you do that?
Music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you were making music in Ohio for a long time? Like your
my
whole life? Or?
But then I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston.
Okay.
And then I went to LA after, yeah.
So was it Boston that made you want to go to LA? Like just being in Boston? Or did you already have that idea?
I actually never planned on moving to LA. I was planning on moving to New York. That was kind of my plan my whole life. My brother's 12 years older than me.
Okay.
And he's lived in New York for like 20 plus years now.
Was he like the first of the family to like leave the nest type of thing, or had you ever?
Exactly, because
that's kind of what I am to moving to Chicago.
Oh,
so
word,
I
okay,
understand what that means to a family.
Yeah, because he moved to New York.
A lot of families stay in one place forever.
Totally, yeah. My family is not that way at all. We're all very spread out.
That's good.
Yeah. So my brother moved to New York. I always planned on being there, and I was always going to New York. I played a bunch of shows, even like when I was young. In New York, always planned on that. But then in college, there was a songwriter that I met in Boston who was from LA, and he had like a publishing deal. And I was like, oh my God, a songwriter with a publishing deal? That's like the biggest thing in the world. I didn't even really know what that meant at that time.
It means he's real. He's official.
Yeah, like he had a deal. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But he had a studio in LA of his own, and he was basically like, don't go to New York, just come work in my studio. And I was like, say less, I don't have anything else going on.
Did he say for free? Was he even, or was he saying like, did he giving you a good price, or
no, like be the in-house producer for?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he's offering you a job.
Yeah,
I see. I thought you meant like come work with me. He meant as an artist, but you meant like he work for me.
Right.
He's giving you a job.
Yeah,
that's even better.
I mean, that went south extremely quick, but
but it got you there.
But it got me there, and
you went south. You went south pretty quick.
Yeah, and then that was also the beginning of. So, I was in all of his sessions working with.
Oh, so you got to
a million different
and
writers and artists and everything.
Did you meet those people along the way too? You talked to a lot of those people, or were you kind of in the background?
No, I mean, like, I was literally the producer of those sessions.
You're the guy.
So, like, I had to...
But, I mean, like, did you develop relationships with the people along
that's
the way?
what I mean. So, it was then, like, I had the opportunity to work with all these people, all these other songwriters. It was mostly, like, pop songwriters, which, like, I don't come from that world at all. But it allowed me to, like, I really had to lock in on the process and be able to... Like that type of working environment, like you really have to make shit fast and be like decisive and do it in front of people that you just met 5 minutes ago.
Right.
So it's very
Are the expectations similar across different sessions, or do people have different kind of in that type of? Because I imagine pop music, it's a little bit more formulaic than hip hop. So maybe you could have a little bit more of a format going. You could have a little bit more of, oh, I know how this is going to go. Or is it like you meet an artist and you just kind of have to go off of them and their vibe and what they give you? Because I feel like it might be more of the first one if it's pop music. With hip hop, I might feel like it's more of the second one. But I might be wrong. I don't know.
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
I would still say, like, yes, of course, there is a formula to it, but it was very different depending on the person that I was in the room with. And it is mostly based on a starting point, getting to a starting point at which you can write to as fast as humanly possible. Like, so as the producer in the room, Like any amount of time that I am making them wait before they can actually start writing is bad.
I see.
So
and
like,
so I had it backwards. I was thinking about it like they have a song already ready to go and they're coming in and you're producing the song, as in like we're just producing the song from what you already had. You're talking about like starting from nothing.
Yes.
Okay, so that's completely different
and
too.
I was co-writing with them. Yeah. So this was like,
we are a whole different thing.
We're walking in the room like, hi, nice to meet you. Let's write a song right now. I don't know anything about you. Let's write a song.
Not what I thought it was. Okay, so now that is even. So I imagine that with a lot of that. So what's co-writing songs with people like then? Like I imagine you've written a lot of your own music, of course. So when you're writing with someone else, is the frame of mind different? Are you trying to approach it differently than you would approach your own music? Because that's the advice I've been told from people who like write for other people, or try to write for other people. I don't feel like I could do that. It sounds hard. It sounds confusing to me. I can write for myself like nobody else. When it comes to like writing for somebody else, I feel like my mind is like, maybe if you was with somebody and we're doing it together because it's collaborative. But I don't know, like sending it off to somebody, that's completely different. But then like you listen to a lot of old hip hop and you can hear Dr. Dre clearly doing someone else's flow because he can write anything.
Yes.
So I don't know what's your experience like co-writing and all of this?
It's a learning experience, and it's mostly just stepping back from your ego and expectations,
right?
And just going with the flow of whatever the room.
And it's really kind of more about what they think too, like going with what they think more than what you think, because you don't want to step on their ideas.
Well, yes and no, because you want to make your ideas known. Everyone's ideas should be addressed and attempted, really. It is a process of elimination. Everyone is so if it's 2 people in the room, 3 people in the room, everyone is, I mean, it depends on their strengths and interests that day, but so because I was primarily the producer also, it was kind of like I would be making the track while they're, so I'll get some chords going, the drums are kind of going, we've got kind of a loop going, and then they're usually starting to mess around with some melodies, and then I'm kind of stopping once there's a loop and like, okay, I'm contributing a couple melodies, or like whatever, a little concept, or like if I have a lyric in my head or a word in my head or something, and then it evolves, and then I keep on working on the beat. And then they're like, okay, I have this thing, can I record it real quick? You record it, then we start honing it. It's like a really gradual process, like piece by piece, and then even just like word for word, like should I say but or and here, whatever it is, like you get really specific, especially with the pop stuff. It's like every syllable is very intentional,
really, because it's more simplistic in a sense, like because there's less layers, everything has to be more intentional. I mean, I wouldn't say there's less layers, it's more about I just feel like when I say all that, I mean like pop music is by its own nature kind of more formulaic and simplistic, in that like pop music is the one where it's more melodic and rhythmic, and you kind of know where it's gonna go. I feel like pop music's the one genre where that's what it is, and like it's had different sounds over the years, but pop music for the most part, I feel like the one where you could box it in more than other ones. But anyway, I just don't want to sound like I'm talking trash. I love pop music. No, I get it. I think it's more just like it can be that. Yeah, it can be. Then your job is to try to make it so it's not. And the more creative pop artists can do that. They're really good at that. Yeah. But anyway, who cares about pop music? But that's how I started in LA, which gave me a lot of experience of a world that I didn't have any awareness of, which is that process of it's a really vulnerable thing. You are making stuff in front of people, oftentimes who are much more successful than me, and have a lot more experience than me. I need to deliver in front of them, with them,
and make something that is actually worthwhile.
Yeah.
Doesn't suck and like not, you know.
Well, the time frame thing too. It's all about like what you're doing this in an hour or two. I mean, if you had like all day to work on that, if it's Rick Rubin and you're in his house, that's completely different. You know, you're walking around with no shoes on. Right. That's a whole different situation than, you know, being inside the studio and everybody's paying money for this. We're all worried about the clock ticking because that's why the time frame matters. You know, it's by the hour for a lot of these, for all these things. Yeah. And so, like, do you have any sessions in particular that stick out when you think about all that? Just all the times you were making songs. Do you have any like moments where that really you're like, oh wow?
Though I mean, those first couple years, honestly, it was like not a whole lot of that music ever saw the light of day. It was
really?
Very,
it didn't get released?
That's kind of the game. Like when you're doing that volume of songs, you're doing hundreds and hundreds of songs. It's kind of like they're gonna sit on a hard drive. Maybe a couple of them get released. It's kind of that's just what it is. But I mean, the sessions that stuck out were the ones with writers and artists that I ended up continuing to work with. One of which is my homie Jeremy Thurber, who we still work to this day, 10 years later. We've done a bunch of stuff. We do all of the Trisha Paytas, the YouTuber, TikToker. Like, we do all of her music.
Nice.
And that was... So I met Jeremy 10 years ago, and we still do this to this day. So, but that was really the kickoff point more than anything for me. It wasn't like... end all be all thing. That was like my introduction to LA and like the real music industry, so to speak, like the belly of the beast. Yeah.
And then how does that then translate into like making your own music and working with all these people and using those relationships? Like how does that move into that? How do those worlds collide, I suppose?
Yeah. So I grew up being an artist anyway. Like I literally started releasing music in like 7th grade. And so I never stopped being an artist. Yeah. But when I went to LA and started doing all these pop sessions, it was really just me trying to get in by any means necessary. Once I started prioritizing let me back up. There was a point where I realized doing all of these sessions was great and I was learning a lot, but it wasn't feeding my own artistry at all and my like excitement for like, I want to be an artist. I'm an artist. Once I started just really planting the flag for myself was ironically when a lot more opportunities opened up, and that happened through social media, really. So it was really 2019. That was when I like flipped the switch. Like, nah, I am an artist again. Like I need to ensure that anyone that I ever interact with knows I'm an artist. And that process was not only for me to, you know, go further in the music industry or whatever, but it was also just like for myself to not feel like I'm neglecting my own artistry. So then that was when I started posting online super heavily. I was already posting and stuff prior to that, but this was when I started making a concerted effort. Then 2020, that was when I like went viral for the first time. I had this like meme song that I made that was like sampling the Law Order SVU theme song. And that kind of, once I got a taste of what the virality is and like understood that, and granted that was a very different type of virality back then. Even like it went viral on Twitter, which was like a totally different thing than like going viral on like TikTok.
I've never been able to understand Twitter. That's something I've been trying to figure out for so long. Like I've posted on there that like you telling me that blows my mind because I don't get what goes viral on Twitter. I don't know the trick. I don't know what the trick is to get, Because it seems like, I mean, just Twitter as a platform, it seems like it's a lot more about talking shit and hateful engagement.
Yes.
They really
now
like fighting.
Especially.
Yeah, more so than ever. But I feel like it's always a little bit been that. And I just can't figure that. I can't crack that code.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well,
Sounds like you did.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's also a little bit of my artistry and the way I present myself is inherently a bit confrontational.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
So sometimes it lends itself to that.
How did the SVU thing do that, if you remind me? I'm trying to remember.
Well, I mean, I just posted. I don't know. I posted
but what was
it,
the
and
idea
then
what was the idea of the track? Like, what
like
was,
making it?
You like? I mean, yeah. What when you even made it? What was the idea? Like, if somebody hadn't seen it before and they don't know what you're talking about.
It was just a stupid thing. Like, I didn't really think anything of it. But it's just some dumb. You're just saying dumb lyrics over the SVU beat. That's the whole idea, or what was the thread of thought? You know. Because I'm forgetting what are even. No,
lyrics.
it was just like it was just. So, this is the progression of it.
Okay.
I was doing when I was making like random social media videos. I made a beat sampling Law Order SVU that I put in an Instagram video. I hadn't written anything to it, and I just thought that was like a stupid thing to do. Like, I thought that would be funny.
Okay.
And then I played a show in Cleveland at that time. Like, I went back from LA to Cleveland, played a show, and then in the middle of the show, I just randomly played the Law Order SVU beat that I made just like as a joke, just to like surprise people and see what would happen. And people went insane. And I was
really?
like, okay, I should just like write something to this. And then when I got back to LA, I was like, okay, well, let me just like write a stupid thing on top of this. And it just it was just like whatever came out, and it turned into this stupid thing. And then
and that's your first viral video?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
it's funny how those stories go, right?
Yeah.
Because you really don't expect much of that song at all.
Yeah.
Really, the only reason you even did is because people like the beat.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's the biggest thing you've ever done yet, you know?
Yeah.
And to you, it's like a Tuesday.
Yeah. That's my experience with most of the things.
That's how it goes.
I have never ever once, well, actually, maybe that time, ironically, was the only time where I was like, this is probably going to go viral. And I was right. Every other time when I have predicted in either direction, I have been wrong. That was the only time I predicted it correctly.
Yeah.
I'm almost superstitious about, like, I cannot even let myself entertain the idea that something I'm creating is going to like go viral or whatever.
Why not?
Because as soon as I think that it is, it's not going to. That's what I feel like. Like, as soon that's like, you have to. You really need to just
so you jinx
go.
it. That's what you jinx it.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because every time it's been an accident.
That's interesting. I mean, that was what I was getting at. Because I mean, I've had a couple videos get a bunch of views, and every single time, like the way that I think about it is, I hate the idea that social media drills in this idea, like it's just built into the platform, especially TikTok, where it's telling you follow trends. If a video does well, do the same thing over and over and become someone who recycles yourself. That's what they want you to do. That's what they're and you are rewarded for doing that. You do get more views and you do become the person that recycles themselves and does the same thing. But isn't like the essence of creativity and the essence of originality that original spark of whatever that thing was? Like, and that's why when that thing happens and it's original and that thing comes out and it's that story where, oh, I didn't expect it. That's why that makes the most sense, because it's more original that way. It's more creative. And in my mind, you can't recreate that by doing the same thing over and over. There's just no way. You have to follow the spark of creativity that leads to those things, not the thing that it was. But it gets it backwards and tells you, oh, just do the same thing that everybody loves. And that's not creative. And I feel like the best artists, like the ones that you love to listen to the most, are the ones that challenge themselves and do different things and push themselves into different directions all the time. time. Like those are the ones I like the most. And so it just drives me nuts because I feel like everybody has this idea that you have to do the same thing, and then you see people go viral for it. And I think too, like when you see somebody who does try different things, it just inspires people in that way, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you don't chase virality and you don't chase making something that's going to get a bunch of views, in my opinion. Like that's the other side of that. Like, you know, I think that's the logical side of your superstition.
Yeah.
Because
that leads me down the path of larger projects that are extended across a bunch of videos, which is so when in 2021 I started doing, so I posted a song every day for an entire year.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
A full song?
It was like a song idea every day.
Okay.
Like it would be varying lengths. A lot of them would be like the starting point of a song. It wouldn't be a full song. Some of them were full songs.
And I'm sure people built things out of them and used them and found creative things to do with them too.
Yeah. Well, no, this was like my song, like fully written. Like no one was doing anything. This was like stuff I would release.
I feel like I'm sure I've seen these. Well,
you probably, but this was the kind of starting point of me being super consistent on social media. I posted a song every single day for an entire year, released 4 albums and 2 EPs in 1 year. And then,
damn, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's. I thought Tech 9 was consistent.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that was when I had my first songs that actually did numbers, like on Spotify and stuff.
What made you want to do that? What made you think that radical consistency would be a good idea?
I didn't even start it that way. I didn't even know that's what I was going to do when I started it. I knew that I needed to be consistent. And I knew that the only way to reach people is through extremes. And so you need to, obviously you don't need to go as extreme as I have, but I knew that I need to show up every single day.
Yeah.
And I also knew that I was neglecting my artistry. So as a way to not only keep myself accountable, so it was a mixture of both keeping myself accountable by having to create something every day, and then also it was a form of promotion every single day. Yeah. So I made one video that was like me playing a bunch of instruments and then rapping or singing over it. And then I was like, okay, well, I should be consistent. I'll do another one the next day. And then I should be consistent. I did another one the next day. And then I did another one. And no one even knew what I was doing at that point. I started it, I had like 2,000 followers or something when I started it. No following.
So were you even getting a bunch of views on these videos where they weren't even performing well? Wow. No,
at first. And then...
and you just kept doing them anyway.
Yeah, and then, it picked up pretty quick, honestly. Like, not to like mega viral or anything. Yeah. But by the time I hit... I would say within a month of it, like I had one that did like semi-good numbers, and then a couple months in I did even better numbers, and then a couple months later, so day like 173 was my song Mercury, and that was like flip a switch, the song fucking boom went. And I don't even know how the fuck that happened. And I didn't even think the song was good when I made it.
Now, you mean like the videos of the song?
The video went crazy, and then I released it on Spotify, and the shit went.
Wow.
Like, it just went. And I don't have any answer.
You know the day, 163, you said?
173.
Were you tracking the days? That's impressive. That you the day.
Well, it's because that one is still my biggest song.
But I mean, you were tracking it from the start of your posting journey, like because you're making the song a day.
So
I see. So that's song 173 of 364, 365.
Yeah,
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
And so you just it's funny because you're still in the middle of that process, so you can't even really focus on the success of the song. You just have to keep making stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my biggest song to this day was day 173, and then my second biggest song is my song Weird Flex, featuring Loopers, who's from, you said you're from Michigan.
Yeah.
He's from Detroit. He's on it. That was day, I think, 203. It was a weird flex. So I know
you
like
put some of these songs on your album, right?
Yeah, so basically what I was doing was releasing these like song ideas, like, and they were produced out with a video every single day.
You did videos too?
No, that's what I mean. Like, it was a video, like a song with a video every single day. Bro, I'm performing it on camera. I was making them live on Twitch as well, like in front of an audience, and so I would do that as like a testing ground where I would just post a song idea every single day, and then the ones that people were excited about, I would take, and then also just the ones I was excited about, I would make albums out of it. So I would like finish them up, connect them, everything, polish it up, put it out as an album.
Dude, it's crazy because mostly I talk to comedians on here, and I always like compare comedy and music because I'm a musician. I don't do stand-up comedy at all, and I'm talking to these comedians. And the way you just described that, you're like the first musician I've ever heard who like did the stand-up comedy process with their music. You tested it on an audience and then picked the best ones and put it on your album. That's what comedians do. That's literally what comedians do.
That's a good point.
But most musicians don't have that output to where they even have that capability. That's nuts. You did 365 songs worth of material and then you just put the best ones on your album. That's crazy. And it worked out really well. I mean, it seems to and do you plan on ever doing anything like that again? I feel like you are probably in like the Casey Neistat position where he filmed a vlog every day and now he's like, all right, I think I'm good on vlogs for a while.
Yeah. Well, ironically, I'm back doing a daily thing, but it's different. So currently, let me go through the timeline of like after this. So I did song a day for an entire year. I went like, so that was like, I had a couple songs go big, but I wasn't that like, I didn't have that many followers still. I went from like 2,000 to like 9,000 followers. And then when I finished the 365, I was like, okay, well, what the hell do I do next? And then I just kept on posting random stuff. That was when I started my Steal This Idea series where I go, here's an idea, do something with it. And I play an instrument, whatever it is. That was when everything went absolutely nuts. And that was when I went from literally 9,000 followers to 100,000 followers in 3 months. Oh, so it was just like craziness.
And is this a particular platform that it did that? Like, is it TikTok? Is it Instagram? Like, where does all this really go crazy on?
At that time, it was literally across all platforms. Wow. I got like 100 million cumulative views in 3 months. It was like nuts.
And then, one is the one where people are remixing it and doing stuff with the sound.
That's the one that people were doing. Yeah. So, and to this day, people still, and that was like Logic and Polo G and Jaden Smith and all these people. Gary Vee was hitting me up and all this stuff. It was crazy. And
that is crazy. I don't know how I would react to that.
Yeah, it was wild. And
Gary Vee in my DMs. What do you do?
And I met Gary too right then.
He's probably a great guy.
Yeah, it was very brief when we met. I was more like with like his one of his like VPs.
Let me ask you, how many cameras were there?
Oh yeah, it was. So
I really wonder.
I'll just say this
What's
as
his
a quick
entourage?
anecdote. So basically, I had met. So Gary followed me, and then his like VP, one of his people, hit me up and was like, "Yo, let's get lunch." We got lunch. He was cool. Whatever. We kicked it. Then, like, a couple weeks later, he was like, yo, Gary's doing, like, a fucking, like, signing. It was, like, I don't know what it was. It was, like, a shoe event or something at Nice Kicks on Melrose in L.A. And he was like, he wants to meet you. And I was like, okay, sure. And I pull up. It's, like, 500 people in line to meet Gary Vee. And there's, like, security all, like, pulling me through the crowd. And they're, like... They're like, all right, you're gonna like do okay, Gary's gonna be over here, like you gotta like it was so hectic. And it was like he was doing a meet and greet, but then he stopped the meet and greet just to be like, yo, oh shit, Connor, what's up? Like, it was like the most fucking...
I wonder what his life is like. That's probably insane. A normal day for him, what you just described.
It was, yeah, for me, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, it reminds me of that video, if you ever seen it, where it's, I think, Connor and Sam, I forget their names, but they're YouTubers, and they followed Mr. Beast for a day. And it was when he opened his burger restaurant, and they did like a vlog about it. And it's just crazy because you're seeing like what Mr. Beast's daily life is like. It's nuts. I mean, maybe that's not every day, but still. Like, you can't. You think you can imagine it? You probably can't imagine it.
Yeah,
like
I don't
Gary
know how,
Vee, Mr. Beast, their life is crazy.
Yeah,
just waking up and talking to the camera, and then going into the real world. And I mean, I never realized Mr. Beast had such a cult following in that sense. Like, through like how many people were in line? Well, how, if you had to guess, you said 100?
Well, Gary Vee, yeah. I mean, Gary Vee is huge.
I guess I never really thought about it.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's been around so long. I just feel like I had a Gary Vee phase a long time ago where I got in and out of him. And I don't think, like, I'm not saying I don't like him. I think he's actually he's very wise. It's impressive to me how long he's been able to do it. Because he's been radically consistent for, what, 15 years. I mean, I mean, if you ask him, I've been doing this since basically the internet, you know. He gets into wine and his family and wine. He's got the whole story. But he's a really interesting guy, and he never quits.
He's a really great entry point for a lot of people into marketing themselves and figuring out social media.
Yes,
he is the person that when people are first being like, okay, I should figure out how to do social media, Gary Vee is the one who is going to tell it in a real way. Like, this is, if you really want to do this, here's your starting point. Like, he's really good for that. And it's funny, when I met him, I went and I realized that I had sent him a DM like 5 years prior, which is so funny because he probably followed me, and then like that DM probably showed up, and he was like, "Wow, this fucking dude just DM'd me so long ago." But he's probably used to that. But I was like, "Damn!" Like I DM'd him in 2019 when I started talking about, like, that was when I started focusing on social media. I DM'd Gary Vee being like, "Yo, like, I'm doing your strategy, blah blah blah," and obviously he didn't respond. But then it's crazy that, what was it? Only actually 2 years later, 2 years after that.
Wow.
2 years later, I met Gary Vee.
And you would have never guessed that when you messaged him 2 years before.
No, I mean,
he's going to be saying nice to meet you and know you by name. Like, isn't that crazy? Yeah. And I mean, it's also just crazy how it is random. Like that steal this idea thing turns into that. Because I like to think of it like you just have to look at life that way, where it's like you can't expect anything out of anything, and that's where the best things come from, like that superstition you were talking about, like just not having any ideas about where this is going to go, and that's when it turns into those crazy things you'd never expect, you know. And also just people you meet along the way, it's like never expecting anything out of them and never really thinking it's going to go anywhere, because I feel like it's those random relationships that end up meaning the most, and it's those random people. It's that guy that you saw you perform once at one show who happens to book you or happens to know somebody or happens to have a studio in LA. Like, it's always some random person that gives you the opportunity that you would have never guessed it was that person. If you would have talked to yourself 5 years ago, they could have never told you what it was going to be. So, but I think your brain, like if you have any expectations at all, you actually screw yourself up, because then you start to think you know what's going on. You have no idea what's going on. Yeah. By the way, I should say to you too, dude, you're just a great rapper. You're like an excellent artist.
Thank you.
Like, you really are. I mean, the stuff on your album, at least, because that's most of what I've heard. And I'm like I said to you, I'm sure a lot of your stuff I've seen, especially once you started to go viral more. I'm sure I've just seen it over the years, especially the Steal This ID. Like, I'm sure, it's funny because I used to do the thing where I would duet people's TikToks and all this. So it really makes me wonder. I wonder if I've ever done like a beat you've posted.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I'm sure I probably have. And I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
But you're just really talented. Like, I should just tell you that, because I mean, there's a lot of I feel like in hip hop, you know, there's a certain thing you have to do, especially now, and I think Kendrick does it better than anybody, where it's like you have to kind of, if you want to respect what hip hop is, and hip hop is a million things, really it's like a million subgenres, but if you're going to like the core, the root of hip hop, then a lot of it's about, I feel like it's in a spiritual sense, it's about individualism, and it's about like what you can do with words and how the duplicity of words almost. What I've always loved about hip hop is how you can be so poetic with it. But then nowadays it's a whole different world. So it's about blending that with like pop and blending that with all these different elements that people are used to, so that it becomes, I don't want to say commercial, but just like Kendrick, I think is the perfect example, because I think he's hip hop at its core, but he's also so commercial. I mean, he's extremely commercial, but he's not at all. And so, but he's found a way. Like, what he's doing is actually impossible, I feel like. And every now and then I'll see a rapper who I feel like does that really well. And I think you do that really well, you know, especially like some of the pop songs on your album, like the more poppy hooks you have. Yeah. You're really good at that like pop hook thing. And I think most rappers can't pull that off, especially nowadays. It's a lost art, you know. I feel like it's like almost like the early 2000s. Like, it used to be so much cooler to sing in your hooks and do all these different things. Rappers don't do that anymore. Now you got to be cool. Now it's more about being cool and sipping lean. And I feel like I feel like let's take it back to the basics.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting you say that. I forget who said this quote. There was like, I wish I could remember who said it. There's a quote that said, the personal is the universal.
Wow. I mean, like, I like that.
Where you think that, I think this was actually about like screenwriting more than music, but I think it applies to everything. That's where really like good. You being specific, so as a songwriter, like being specific about your life, you would think that it would alienate people, but it actually brings them in, because they're going to relate to it in some way. You telling this specific story about how you feel, how something that happened to you, whatever it is, they're going to have a human connection to that story, that feeling, that whatever. That personal thing becomes universal because of people's connection to it. And or even like, this is reminding me of Seth Rogen talking about that with Superbad. Them thinking that because it was so specific to them, that was just like their high school experience, them being idiots, they thought that was like sort of alienating, when all of a sudden that becomes like the beacon of like what high school boys being idiots experience is. Like, so many people can relate to that.
I would say it's one of the most relatable like teenager movies ever. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like demonstrating teenager mentality. It's actually too good.
But I try to be as specific as possible for that same reason, and also just because the way that people connect with art is like you need to, the person creating it needs to feel something also. Like, you can't just like we were talking about pop music and stuff earlier. Like, I think there is a common, and when I'm doing pop hooks or whatever, there's a common feeling, especially among people who are not really like, you know, into pop music. And I was one of those people. I mean, I am still like, you know, sometimes I think it's corny as hell, but the person making the art needs to truly feel it in order to express it properly and have people relate to it.
Well,
it can't be like, you can't patronize your audience and just be like, oh, I think you would like that, like idiots. Like, let me make this stupid thing just for these idiots.
I think you can get away with that for so long. And I think like performing, like live performance is the real tell. Because I just like, there's so many people who, I always liken it to role playing. That's what I always say. I just feel like sometimes I'll see people and I feel like they're role playing, and you can tell when somebody's really what they think they are, what they say they are.
Yes.
And like other times it's like, oh, they're just like being that thing today,
Yes.
And to me, that's how I always think about it, is, oh, that's not really what they are. They're just doing this because that's what they think they should be doing.
Yeah.
But then you'll see the guy who's like giving it to the, like, and that's what, when I perform, I can't even help myself. Like, I feel like it's my 10 minutes, it's my 15 minutes. I'm going to give my entire everything to this 10, 15 minutes because what else am I here for? What am I doing? Like, why am I even here? Yeah. That's why I like doing, the reason I even started doing a comedy podcast, I'll go to comedy open mics and do this. And dude, comedians never even know what hit them. You just go to a comedy mic and you just perform the hell out of like a 4-minute set, Wow. Just give them music, rap, especially rap, because they don't expect a rap performer to do that. They don't even know what to say. Yeah. So I feel like but it's that raw reality, that feeling. You have to feel, and someone once asked me, like, it was a comedian, and he asked me, like, because if I'm doing jokes, it's easy for me to recreate a joke because I can rephrase it, I can do all these different things. How do you do that when you're performing a song? And I thought, what was my answer? I feel like it's like I think it's just by like believing in like the moment, like just feeling that moment. That is how you recreate, because every performance is different. It's like, even if I'm doing the same words, even if I'm doing the same everything, it's feeling that moment and being right there is what's making that happen, Yeah. And it almost like I think if you're a real performer, it's actually exhausting to like practice, even because you can give yourself too much to a practice session. You're like, damn, I should have recorded that. But then because it's hard to even phone it in. If you really perform and you really feel the music. I mean, like you look at Elvis. I think Elvis is one of like the first real like performers in rock music, where he like couldn't even stop himself from performing. He was just moving shit.
That's funny. Yeah.
And I feel like I relate to that when I see Elvis like doing all this. And it's hard not to move sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's like, and then I'll see performers who don't do any of that. And I almost feel like it's like, are they even really feeling this? Like, are they in the song? And I think that, like I said, it works for so long. I think those people have an audience. I don't think you could write that music off. But I think when it comes to like the real ones, the stuff that's going to live on forever, it's going to be that stuff that you feel forever. It's got that humanity baked inside of it, like a soul deep inside of it.
Absolutely.
And isn't that the best music? Isn't that like the best when you make a song and you feel that? You can listen to it back and you can just feel. Like, I love songs where I know I can listen to it over and over and I kind of get something a little bit different from it. Like I don't even know exactly what I made at first.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's the best stuff.
Yeah. I mean, of course. That's what music is. That's what art is. That's what I always strive to do with that. Like, I think the way that I attempt to reach that is by surrendering to the process instead of trying to manufacture that. You know what I mean? Like letting the feeling exist as opposed to creating an artificial feeling. You know what I mean? Like I try to just live in serve the song as much as possible without trying to I let the music guide me, which sounds that's cliche, but
I like it because like I always tell people I don't think about it like rap music. I think about it like music. Like it's just music. It's not rap. Like it's music.
Yes.
And like if you think about yourself like a rapper, you're already boxing yourself in because you're thinking about it like, oh, I have to do it like this. And you could literally do it like anything and you could still call it rap. Like we're at that point now. You can do anything you want. It doesn't matter. And also, I hate this idea of like type beat or making something in the style of something, like trying to emulate somebody else. Like just make what you're feeling. Just make what comes to you naturally. Don't like, oh, I want to sound like so and so in this song. Because then again, you're automatically putting yourself in this little cross section that you can't escape. And I don't think that's real creativity. I think that's like you can be creative within boundaries, but you're not being you, and I think people, that's like, again, the beauty of hip hop, the beauty of songwriting, the beauty of poetry, like it's being yourself. You have the opportunity to be yourself. And like, I'm so glad I found music early. Like, I don't know how early you started making music, but for me, I think I started making music around like 12 or 13. And I feel like that gave me so much direction in life because it helped me understand, oh, I can just do this by myself. Like, no one else has to tell me what to write or how to write it. It was almost like liberating. I could write whatever I want, and I can make what I think is great. And you don't even have to tell me whether or not you think it's great because I don't care. I know it's good because I think it's good.
Totally.
And I think that is like the core, like even when I say like, what is hip hop? I feel like at its core, hip hop embraces that more than any other art form because it's all about being. That's why you have that whole no ghostwriter mentality deeply within hip hop because really it's about being yourself and saying what you want to say. I don't care if anybody has a ghostwriter, but that's why it's there. That's why it exists. Because at its core, it's all about who are you, you know, and how can you tell me this differently than what's your angle that you can take on this particular topic, you know, and how can you present it to me differently than I've ever heard before, and yeah, dude. And every now and then, like, rappers do that in a way that blow you away. I mean, how has your music changed over the years, too? Like, you think you've always kind of, like, been this... Like, I imagine working with pop artists and just being close to that world even would probably kind of reshape your music, right? Like, you probably took in a lot of different things at that time. Yeah,
I mean, it's changed a million times, and it changes every day. I mean, I going back to what you're saying, I kind of let, almost to a fault sometimes, I will make completely different things that are not even recognizable as the same artist.
Right.
And
let me ask you, do you ever like put the headphones on and like discover in the song making process, like you already have it written, maybe you already have the idea, you already kind of knew what you were going to do, but then just once you have the microphone in front of your face, you just start doing something completely different? Because that's happening. That's why I always recommend recording your own music and not going to a studio and just making your, because that's where you can do that. When you're in a studio, you're kind of worried about, oh, you don't want to take chances, you don't want to do anything too crazy. When you're by yourself, you might just do some crazy voice. And that might be the song.
Totally. Yeah. I have been through a lot of different eras of just I mean, just having made music for so long and literally releasing music on MySpace in 7th grade. Like,
ooh, shout out Tom.
And and then going through, like, I've been like a SoundCloud like beat dude, electronic dude. I put out a fully like instrumental, experimental, like industrial electronic album that's like not like any of the music that anyone would know me for. Like, I have all this weird other shit that does not fit into what people know me for. But I just kind of let it be what it is. It just is what it is. Like, and even with like me singing on stuff, like a lot of times people will, like, to me, I learned how to write songs via rapping. So to me, pretty much everything is through that lens. And then I won't even realize that this isn't even being perceived as hip hop until like after the fact. People will be like, "Oh, that's a rock song," and like to me, I was like rapping,
right?
And I didn't even make the connection. Then after the fact,
or they'll say, "This sounds like so and so. This sounds like so and so," and you're like, "I guess it does."
Yeah, I don't know. So, but I just make stuff. And I can't let it stop me is the thing.
One of the best compliments I think I've ever gotten in just a random comment, because it reminded me of that same idea, is somebody said, like, people are going to tell you, and this was just a random person I've never met, not even somebody I think I've commented on a bunch of different things of mine. And they said, people are going to tell you sound like so many different things, but just know that what you really are is original. And I thought, like, oh my God.
Like, that's really nice.
That is the best compliment ever.
Hell yeah.
Because it's like, it encapsulates all those other comments that oh, you sound like this, you sound like this. Because you can even get that on one song. People say, oh, you sound like 5 different things. And I think it's just because you're allowing yourself to follow the music, and that happens to sound like all those different things, because maybe it even is those things. Maybe all of those things are going on in the back of your brain, and somehow your brain brings this other thing to the front. Who knows how creativity actually, how these ideas come out, you know? And I think, like, I mean, a lot of songwriters, musicians, like, I'm sure you're the same way. A lot of it's just melodies first. Even like, it's not even the words first. It's like the sound itself is what comes first, and then somehow words find their way on top of it, and that doesn't even make any sense, but also it does, you know. Like, especially if it's like a rapper that's very particular with their flow, right? Like, it's like a 5-syllable scheme or something like that. Like, I don't know, like cardboard box, like cardboard box, you know, I like animals, I get hard for fox, you know. It's like, you gotta have the multi-syllables. And so stuff like that. But it's like building that out and just having the sounds first, and then finding a way to make words fit. Like, a lot of the freestyling is even that. It's like doing that in real time. But what is that? And then how does that become the best songs of all time? Who knows? And how does that resonate with people? I really like the idea you said earlier about specific being universal, because I feel like I've heard that once in my life and I forgot about it. And it's just so true. I mean, even you think about films, because you said it's from screenwriting, I'm sure. Films, but everything. I mean, literally everything. It's the more, I feel like it's the humanity is specific. Like, the just experience is specific, and emotions are specific. And so every time you see somebody being like intimate and real, it almost makes me feel like, even like podcasts, you know, I'll see people say things like, because he hears a lot like, oh, people probably aren't watching right now, or oh, people probably are bored by this. Like, I'm the type of person, I'll listen to people talk about anything. I really don't care, because if somebody's if they're interested in it and they want to talk about it, I would listen to them, because I feel like they might have something to say. But I think people think they're being boring when they get specific. Like, oh, nobody wants to hear us talk about this topic for 30 minutes. Let's talk about something else. And I don't know that that's true. You know, sometimes you never, I feel like you don't know the value of it. Like, maybe it's boring, but maybe somebody, like, they've been waiting to hear somebody talk about this, because nobody else talks about how bad baby bottles are and how they need to have better baby bottles. You know, whatever it is.
You
know?
I mean, the same way with art, with anything, like
with art,
with content, like your job is to show up and share whatever you got going on.
And that could be anything.
And you don't need to make the audience's choice for them. You shouldn't make their choice for them.
And I think also audiences are as dumb as you say they are. Meaning, like, I don't think audiences are stupid. I think that if you treat an audience as if they are, they might be. But that's because you made that. You fostered that environment. You created that. But I think audiences are actually really smart. Like, if you treat an audience like they're smart, they get a lot of things. So one thing I do at, I started doing this at a comedy open mic, because they had a band and they do freestyles, like, for the comedians. And so I was thinking, like, okay, I can't, because I was going to these other mics with a speaker and just doing my own songs. I'm thinking, I can't do that here because they have a band, and, like, if I freestyle, what am I going to say? Because it has to be relevant. Like, how is this going to make sense? So what I decided to do is I took all the different things the comics say. Like, I would just write down stuff from there, like the highlights of their sets, right? Just random little things. And then when I go up, I just turn all that into a freestyle, and they're blown away, because they're like, oh my God, that's the thing that they said, and that's the thing that they said. And to me, it's genius, because it's like, it rewards you for sitting around for this 2-hour open mic and listening to everybody. All of a sudden, and the only reason you would understand what I'm saying is if you sat around for these 2 hours. You couldn't even film that and then show it to somebody, because they wouldn't really get it. It's literally, you had to be their thing. And so then the girl who was producing that, she started producing Roast Battle Chicago, and she asked me to go there and do that there. And so what I decided to do is like the first half, because she wanted me to diss people too. And I'm like, oh, you want me to diss people in a freestyle and also do, oh, it's like a lot. So the first half is I just go through and diss everybody that's on the lineup strategically, like one line at a time. Just, you're fat, you're ugly, you're black. Literally, that's the what I love about it is these jokes are allowed at this venue.
Yeah.
Like if you ever seen a roast battle before, they love this stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, you just kind of bully everybody. And then the second half, I pull out the hat trick and I just say punchlines from throughout the night. But that's different because it's not at an open mic. So an open mic, of course, comedians would get it. But what impresses me about it is every single punchline that you call back, an audience gets all the callbacks. And I think it speaks to the intelligence of an audience. Like, that's why I say it, because you'd think, like, you know, oh, if I'm just taking 20 different punchlines from the last hour and 30 minutes that this audience sat through, they're not going to remember everything, single one, you know?
Yeah.
But they do. Like, every single one, they laugh. And the only reason they would laugh is because, oh, I remember when they said that. Oh, I remember. And also they're laughing because I found a way to make it a setup for a punchline. Like, I turned it into, so it's, but it's, I think it speaks to the intelligence of an audience. Like, I just think it's so impressive that even works. Because it kind of, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking this might not work. And every time it works.
Yeah.
And a casual audience gets it. That's what impresses me so much. Because I would think comedians would get it. They get callbacks and they get, oh, he's saying the thing and he's doing. They almost appreciate it more than the general audience would, because they really get what's going on. Yeah. But a general audience also gets it because they do pay attention. You'd think, you know, people act like audiences don't pay attention. Everybody's on their phones. No one's looking. That's not true. People do pay attention. You just all have this idea nobody's paying attention, and then you treat the audience that way, and so then maybe they don't pay attention because they think that they shouldn't. That's how it works. Yeah. If you treat them like they're smart, they start looking. They like perk up and they start watching. Yeah. Absolutely. And I just think, like, you know, again, like if you perform, you know that because you see audiences turn on and light up and change. If you've ever been to a great show, you've seen that before. You know, an audience takes one great performer to just explode a room. Absolutely. To me, that's the beauty of live events. You have the power of, and I think, like, again, spiritually, like that's a spiritual thing you can do. You can change this whole environment just with whatever you've got, you know. I mean, have you ever had like a crazy show, like one of those shows where you walk out of it like, oh my God, I am a god? You know? I mean, I've never felt like I'm a god, but I mean, some of my early shows are ironically the craziest. Really? So, do you remember Girl Talk? You know what that is? Sounds really familiar to me. He popularized like mashups. Like he was the dude who basically brought mashups to the world, pretty much. Okay. Was he a DJ? No, like kind of. Everyone called him a DJ. He's not a DJ. It was like laptop shit, but he popularized mashups. Anyway, he was like huge in the early 2000s, like family friend. Anyway, he was like good friends with my brother. They worked together, whatever. He would let me open for him like when I was like 14, 15. Wow. So I opened for him at Webster Hall in New York when I was 14. Like 2,000-3,000 people. And that was like my first show. That's crazy. It was like, so as I like Benjamin buttoned my career. Like my first shows were like some of the biggest I've ever played. But those were so intense. I mean, for a lot of reasons, but just because I'm 14 years old going in front of thousands of people who don't know or care who the fuck I am and having to try to win them over. But it was really fun. It was like, I always did. And also, like, it's the benefit of the novelty of, like, oh, this is a 14-year-old. What the fuck is it? This is crazy. Yeah. But you don't realize that when you're a kid. Yeah. You have so many opportunities. Yeah, exactly. Especially kid bands. Yeah. You're like a kid band. You don't realize you're the kid band until it's too late. Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're all old now. So, but yeah, I was doing those shows and just like I still think about how insane that was. That as a kid you have no idea. Yeah, I mean 3,000 people, 4,000 people. You're just looking at, oh, I guess this is how it works. I guess I'm gonna do this forever now. Yeah, but yeah, and then a lot of my favorite shows have been like house shows and stuff where it's like, because
the intimacy of just like people packed in a tiny space in a house or whatever is the most fun to me.
People behave differently for sure too.
Yeah.
People, I feel like they feel like they're more of a part of it.
Yeah.
Whereas like a concert, you're just, the stage is elevated and I'm over here and you're over there and we're all, we paid for a ticket and now we're leaving right after the show. I think a party is just so fundamentally different,
Yeah.
People are more likely to like come up to you and get real close to you, and you just look at any, especially punk music. Oh my God. Like house parties make punk music what it is.
Yes.
The DJ, I would say electronic music, like DJs, and then punk music are the two things that need house parties.
Yeah, and that's also what it comes from. Is I've been DJing all this whole time too, so DJing house parties and shit has been like the most fun I've ever had too. Like it's fucking like even compare, like I would way rather play like a rowdy ass house party than a club.
Have you ever thought about doing like the Mark Rebelé type thing, or you do like live sampling and?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, I was even thinking. I was like, I should do like the Steal This Idea stuff like live.
Oh, interesting.
And like, I was thinking about
like
doing
one of those things where you have a thing set up and like people can come up to you, or do you mean like live at a show?
Like at a show.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not really like. Everyone always sends me Mark Rebier and like also the dude, I forget his name. There's the dude who has the whole setup like.
Oh, I know exactly.
He's like been going around New York.
Streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's walking around like this, and the camera's at this angle above his head. Yeah.
Everybody always sends me shit like that, and they're like, "You should do this."
If that's falling down,
and
here, all you gotta do is
it's all good.
Yeah.
I don't think that's my vibe, but I think it's dope.
Yeah.
I do think the like crowd interaction aspect is really cool. I want to start taking some of my existing formats and like putting it.
How would that translate to a live event though? Like to Steal This Idea, how would you do that live? What would like?
Well, just like making something on the spot.
Yeah.
In front of them that would be the video.
Oh, and then posting that.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like somehow someone from the audience would steal the idea.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, or, if I'm sampling something, I just put a mic in someone's face and then I sample it and turn it into something.
That's a good idea. And then the audience member is technically their voice. That's the sample or something. It could be literally anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do something like that. But it's more like, I don't know. I've always been caught in this in between because I don't really like. I enjoy doing videos and stuff, and I enjoy making music, obviously. But I do not give a fuck about being a sample maker at all. That just happened. So, like, I'm an artist, Like, that is not necessarily like a thing that I'm trying to be like. I'm the sample guy. So it's kind of I'm kind of in between like. I don't know. It would be a fun section of the show, but like, I don't want to be the guy that does that, even though like most people know me as the Steal This Idea guy. But that's like, at one point people knew me as the Law Order SVU guy. Like you evolve it. Like that's
if you're doing it right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was saying earlier. You could just as easily become that guy.
Yes.
If you really wanted to, you could become that guy, and you probably would benefit from it. I mean, maybe it would go great, but that's not the essence of creativity. It's like, how do you top that? What do you do next? That's the real, that's the fun part.
My experience has been every time something goes viral, does numbers, I'm that guy for now. Like, I was the Law Order SVU thing. I was the Song a Day guy. I was the Steal This Idea guy. I had I impersonated Tesla on Twitter and ended up in the news and all this shit. I was the fake Tesla guy. I did a random like cookie review one time that did crazy numbers. I was the cookie guy for a second. Like it's like it just the only way out is through. Like you just need to go. Like
if you're going through hell, keep on going.
Yeah, like that. There's no other option.
Because you might get out before the devil even knows you're there.
Yeah, yeah. There's, that's the only way to, like, the advice that I always give people is just like, you don't give yourself enough time to even like think about like whether it's like the perfect right path or strategy. You need to just do things.
And you feel like when it comes to like the sample kits and all these ideas, like you feel like that would be you following that virality idea, like following that, you know, that alluring idea of doing the same thing, whereas you'd rather just do something else entirely. So when people say, oh, you should do this, you're thinking, yeah, maybe you're right, but why would I do that?
I'm still like, I have sample packs and stuff. I'm still making those videos. It's less about like I wouldn't say it's like a purity thing or anything. Yeah. It's not like I feel like I'm better than that. It's just not something I'm excited about.
Yeah.
So, like, I try to do the things I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
So I love making videos. So like I'll make those videos, but I don't really like, because there's a lot of people who have like made entire careers off of the video format that I created because they went, oh, I'm going to make sample packs.
Exactly.
And like really focus on sample packs. And then it pops off. And you're welcome. So, but that's not my path. I just don't give a shit about that, frankly.
Because it's not inspiring. It's not going anywhere different. It's always going to be that.
Yeah. And the people, I won't act ungrateful. Like, I'm absolutely,
it's awesome.
like, it's great.
I mean, even the whole format's awesome. The whole thing is great. It's just something you don't want to be stuck in. It's something you wouldn't want to do forever. Yeah.
So, but I think for a while, that was something that I was like, I felt stuck in that, which was stupid, because all I have to do to not be stuck in that is do other
anything
stuff.
Else. Yeah.
So I now just do other stuff, but also that. So I have that, like, there's still going to be
that
those
other
videos.
stuff even inspires that, right? Like and then that other stuff makes that fun again. It makes you want to do that. Like, I just feel like you can't just it's that whole not sticking yourself in a box thing. Like, you do the same thing over and over, you eat the same food every day. The food's not good anymore. You have to it's the spice of life. You got to switch it up, you know? Yeah. That's why reading is good, boys and girls. You got to read every now and then. Not the internet. It doesn't count. You got to read a real book.
That's true.
But it really, like, it's like putting yourself in a different world, in a sense, and like putting yourself in a different position every now and then. It does something to you, you know? And if you do the same stuff, I mean, even like, you know, making the same kind of music, it's that, you know, if you try to branch out and do a whole different type of song, all of a sudden, now you're like, I feel like you realize your own capabilities. Like, you realize what you can do if you try different things, you know?
Hell yeah.
Like, I mean, and like, you know, we were saying, like, with music earlier too, like, when you make a song, you didn't even know you could make a song like that. It doesn't even sound like anything you've ever made before. Like, it's those things. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, I would wonder, with the whole sample thing, is it just a big market? Like, people just want to buy samples to make beats, and so these people see these videos, and that's kind of what happens. It just becomes its own market, and then if you wanted, you could make hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars by just doing the same exact thing but selling it. That's basically what happens, and then people start selling those sounds rather than just giving them away for free on a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fun part is, I think, giving it away for free. The fun part is actually that you are giving away a lot of those sounds for free. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what I liked about when TikTok, there was the whole trend of open verse challenges, which I think it still happens, but it was pretty popular a few years ago. And I saw artists start to try to charge for these. And I remember thinking, like, what? Like, you're getting the whole thing wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing an open verse challenge, but you're telling me I have to pay to qualify for the open verse. That's not how this works.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be for that the whole thing is the community. And I just remember seeing that and thinking, like, I wonder if this is, like, they weren't involved and maybe somebody on their team told them this would be a good idea and they don't even know about these open verse challenges. Then I think they were replying to comments, and I think they were, like, trying to say, like, they were trying to defend themselves, because I thought it was crazy. I couldn't believe that. Because to me, it's like, the whole point, you're missing the point. this is supposed to be for everybody.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. That's what's fun about it. And that's the artistry of it too, right? It's that we can all be involved, and we can all, you're as the artist who has all this influence, you can actually highlight the individuals. You know, everybody likes to make fun of Dax, but whatever you want to say about Dax, he's really good at like highlighting his fans, and he's really good at like that open verse, because he was big on those open verse challenges, and he would post so many duets.
He used to duet my shit. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, like that does a lot for a smaller artist. Him just duetting it and going. They can do a lot, and he doesn't have to do that. And most people don't do that. And I feel like you just don't realize the influence you can have on people just by giving them 30 seconds, you know, for free. Not you can't have an expectation. You can't think they're gonna pay you or it's gonna grow your reach. It's doing it just to be nice. That's the difference.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
people, I think it's also that feeling it, right? People feel when you're doing it for real and you genuinely want the best for the audience rather than you want something out of the audience. That's online, that's in real performance. But I think online is the same, you know?
Yeah.
People can feel when you're trying to milk them.
Yeah,
they know what that is.
They can.
What I hate is when I open a YouTube video and I can tell they're dragging it out, and then I look at the length and I'm like, this is 15, 20 minutes. This could have been 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not watching this anymore.
That's the worst.
I hate that so much.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll realize that's like this entire channel. I'll like come to I've watched this channel for weeks, and then I realize, oh my God, they've wasted so much of my time.
Yeah.
Because you don't even realize it sometimes.
Yeah.
Every video's 10 minutes.
So scammy. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I feel like you have, like, again, respect. People are smart, you know?
Yeah.
And like, you know, that's why I hate these true crime shows. They're popular now. And I hate it because, I'll watch a true crime thing if it's like you're not stretching it out for commercial breaks and you're not like making me think it's the brother for 20 minutes so that way you have a good hook for your episode. I'd rather watch the YouTube video where the guy who lives in his mom's basement is breaking down the true crime and he breaks it down in 7 minutes. He's quick and concise.
Yeah.
I can't stand this.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, I should ask you, do you have a time limit or anything like that?
Yeah, I think pretty soon if we could wrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to freestyle, do you?
I can't. I'm sorry.
You can't do it?
No.
I thought I might offer.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
I should ask you too. I mean, this isn't your first time in Chicago, I don't imagine.
No.
But what was it? What was the show like? You're coming off of a show at book club. I mean, how did that go for you? I'm sure it went great.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Was it songs you haven't done before? What was the whole show like?
Yeah, so this was actually, I've DJ'd in Chicago a few times, but this was my first time like doing a proper show here, so it was great. Okay. And
like your own music. And,
yeah, exactly. And this was a blast. Honestly, the energy was really, honestly, just really positive in there. Like, shout out to Book Club, and just felt very, I'm from Cleveland, like it's like the Midwest love, you know. It's very like as opposed to, I love LA, but like the shows there don't feel like that. And but anyway, the show was amazing. And I have a cousin who lives here. We're staying with her, and she took us to Peace Pizza or whatever, and I don't even know what part, some pizza spot. That was good. Shout out to her. We're thinking about going to Wiener Circle later and get insulted or whatever.
Not Weenie Hut Juniors.
Yeah.
Wiener Circle.
But yeah, it's been awesome. I fuck with Chicago.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Chicago, I would say it's probably that Midwest hospitality is probably what it is, you know. It makes me afraid to go anywhere else because I think that's why I like it here. I'm pretty sure it's just close to home and I'm used to this and everybody's kind of just nice enough. And if I go to like the hustle and bustle of New York, if I go to the influencers of LA.
You haven't been?
I haven't. No,
oh, wow.
Not even once.
Wow,
not even
crazy.
once. And I'm almost scared.
Oh, don't be scared. No, it's not like that.
I'm kidding.
It's not like that.
Yeah, obviously, I'm half kidding. Yeah. But I just feel like the I know that America's so big and you can take for granted the locality and like the way people are around you is not the way people are everywhere.
Right.
And I already know
Yeah.
that if I go to one of these, the only other major city, which it's funny because I've learned this is a thing, is the Michigan-Florida connection. So the only other place I've been to is Florida because I'm from Michigan. I have family in Florida. You talk to Michiganders, they always have family in Florida for some reason. It makes no sense. But so you do that big long drive, and I think I've been to Miami.
Yeah.
But that's again when I was 12. So what do I know? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, mostly I know it from Grand Theft Auto.
Hell yeah.
Vice City to me.
Funny.
But so I mean, I just feel like, the idea I get, and maybe this is a misconception, but New York, everybody's kind of about their lives, ready to go, moving through things. They're kind of, especially with open mics, like with comedy, what I've heard is it's not so much of a hang. It's more of an in and out. They're trying to hit 5 mics a night.
Yeah.
LA, it's more about, influencers, who's following who. Oh, let's make a connection. Let's do this. And it feels a little bit less real than oh, hey, I met you. We're just buddies. And we also do this. It's a little bit more about hey, let's work together. Let's network. It's more of that. And I'm pretty sure those are probably proper evaluations, but I might be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked about LA is what you bring to it in the same way, or New York. It's the people who go with the intention of trying to be a social climber or whatever are gonna find other social climbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is a city of millions of people, and many of which grew up there and don't give a fuck about the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
My wife is from LA. She grew up in LA. She doesn't give a fuck about the fucking social climbing shit. She's just, that's where she grew up.
Yeah.
It's a normal place with normal people living normal lives. And if you go in with oh, I'm an influencer, I want to be famous, blah, blah, blah. You're probably going to run into other people that are like that.
Yeah. I like to think you find what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
And I've been around people that annoy the fuck out of me over there.
Yeah.
But I've also, I've been around people in other cities too that annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah,
so it's not
everywhere.
and it's not a universal thing. And and one other thing I'll say is, a lot of the people that make those videos complaining about oh, LA transplants and blah blah blah, those people are transplants. They didn't grow up there.
Yeah.
They don't actually know.
Yeah.
They don't I have lived there just long enough to know the distinctions between these types of people.
Yeah.
And it's just, and same with New York or anywhere. I mean, it's really just you gotta just be a cool, nice person. If you're a cool, nice person and you go with, and I look at the music industry and entertainment industry in general, it is just friends helping friends. It really is you can try to maneuver yourself and blah, blah, blah. But all of the best opportunities I've received have been through just people that I'm friends with that are also just happen to be in the music industry. It's not.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to me, that's you'll hear people talk about this concept of gatekeeping and, oh, this is gatekept. And really, I'm always thinking yeah, but isn't every industry ever that is what an industry is.
Yeah.
And also, if you think this is gatekept, you just wait till you're actually successful.
Right.
It just gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
It's always who you know. And I always tell people think about people you look up to, successful people, whoever it is. You look back at their history, their story. It's who they knew. It's the relationships unless they were a 0.1% crazy success story. You just never see it. It's always the relationships and the strategies and the people you develop. That's the stuff that matters. It's always the stuff that nobody ever sees unless you look into people. So you just kind of discount it and think, oh, they just got famous over nothing, over one song overnight,
Yeah.
And it's worse and worse now with social media because, I mean, I think you even can do that, but it's about longevity. It's about what actually does something. Yeah, you can get viral. Virality means nothing. nothing. It really doesn't even mean anything.
Right.
Because any video can go viral. Yep. There are accounts with no followers that have viral videos. It doesn't really mean anything. It's about like, what is this?
Yeah. How do you convert it? What do you do with it? And yeah, you can't just, I mean, and even me going back to this show, doing stuff in real life is always, so like stuff online is important. I'm somebody who really prioritizes that, but there is no replacement for going in front of real human beings and doing whatever the fuck you do.
And I think those human beings and those experiences are going to be the most foundational ones for a career. Like those are the moments that, those are the people that will stick with you, because it's those connections that matter the most. Even just the guy in the audience who listened to the songs and felt the songs, like he might remember that forever.
Yeah.
And to you, it's just a performance, and to you, I'm just going out there, I'm doing these songs I've done hundreds of times now. To him, it's his moment to see you. It's the moment to connect with that music that he wants to connect with, and I just fucking love that shit. I mean, to me, that's what it's all about. That's what everything is about. And, it's about connecting, and it's about the power of that. And like, I think it's the power of being an artist, is you can create that from nothing. And isn't that the beauty of life? Isn't that sort of godlike, creating something from nothing? Don't we all have that capability? And I think we do. And so it's awesome. And I think that's why it's inspiring when you see people create so authentically.
Hell
It reminds you that you can do that. One of my favorite quotes I ever have written, I wrote it in high school, and I always say it: "A match to a spark to inspire. I want to see you start a fire." I fucking love that shit so
nice.
Because the idea is, I'm just trying to light a match. I want to see you start a flame.
Yeah.
I'd rather see you do something way better than me, because I'm just trying to get that ball rolling,
Hell yeah.
That's cool. It's like when you're at a show and everybody's like performing and they're just killing it, and you're like, damn, am I good enough for the show? That's the best feeling to have. You want to be around people that inspire you.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. At the end of the show, we do two things. All right. The show's obviously for 3 to 5 year olds, super intelligent children. And so it's advice for the kids. All right. Advice for the kids. They're about to get off the school bus. They're going to enter the real world. They're going to take off their headphones. They're going to touch grass. So you're going to give them advice. We've proven we're wise adults. So we're going to give them something smart to live on with. And also, 2, the social medias where people can find you. This comes out about a month from now. So if you got any shows or anything like that you want to mention, where they can find your music, where, your latest album, all the good stuff, all the dirty details. The floor is yours, sir.
Advice for everyone is follow whatever is the most exciting thing at the moment. And as it changes, follow that. And show up for yourself. Honor that and let that. Don't overthink if you have these ideas of what you want to create or whatever, or like you think it's a stupid little thing, or it's just a joke, or you think you're not good or whatever, or like, just make stuff. Literally just make stuff, and whatever is the most exciting stuff to you at that exact moment, because it's going to change, and move on to the next thing. Make stuff and move on. That's the mantra. Make stuff and move on. And without take the pressure off of making stuff. That is my advice. You can find me at Connor Musarra, ConnorMusarra on every USA. On every single platform. I have a new album coming this summer, and all of my extremely large catalog is on Spotify, Apple Music, all that, under Connor Musarra. I have literally hundreds of songs. I have like 10 albums, something like that. I don't even know. Go listen to my music.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say too is that you just touched on it again, that consistency, because I don't think I said it earlier. I mean, I do a podcast every 3 days, and I feel like we're in a world now, you have to do impossible numbers. That's the only way. And I'm like, it's unforgivable if you don't. It's just what you have to do. And so like when I hear anybody tell me like, oh, I want to start a podcast, I'm always thinking like, okay, do like 10, do like 50, and then get back to me. I don't even want to give them advice. I don't even want to waste my time because I know they're probably not going to do it. Because you have to be radically consistent now.
Yes.
And you know, like rappers, I have friends who they'll do one song. They'll have catalogs of music, but they don't release anything. And it's maddening to me. Like I know creative people who just don't know how to be consistent on the face of it, like in public, how to put those things out. Yeah. And it's like, you can't even, we're in a world where it's not even about slowing down and like trying to make sense of that. No. You either do it or you don't. Yeah. Like you either do it or you don't. And if you're not doing it, you got to start at some point, or else just kind of accept that it's probably going to plateau, because the growth comes from the radical consistency. That's what it is now. It's like people just have to know you're there. And that's where a lot of it starts, is just knowing you're there and people becoming familiar with you. And I got to say that's so respectable, and I appreciate it, because I think we need more people like that. These are the people that will lead the revolution.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for being here. That has been all, folks, here today on Radio.
Holy shit.
Clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's hysterical, the picture that they put to his face. It's a confidence administered to earn their respect. Live a little lighter,